You might think this statue being toppled is that of ex-Syrian regime leader Bashar al-Assad, but it's not. It's of his father, Hafez al-Assad, the man who built the brutal dictatorship that over 20 million Syrians suffered under for decades. December 8, 2024 marked the end of the Assad family's 53-year grip on the country, setting Syrians free from the grip of dictatorial rule. Here's a look at some key moments. Hafez al-Assad was a military general with thousands of loyal troops under his command when he seized power in a bloodless coup. Hafez's forces launched a bloody assault in Hama to quell an uprising by the Muslim Brotherhood, killing and disappearing between 10,000 to 40,000 people. It was at the time deemed the single deadliest act by any Arab government against his own people. Bashar al-Assad came to power after the death of his father and raised the bar for repression. The Arab Spring sparked protests across the country, with most people demanding freedom and reform. The regime's response was brutal. It resorted to shootings, mass arrests, and systematic torture, which triggered Assad's war on his people. Assad launched a chemical attack on eastern Ghouta, using sarin gas on densely populated civilian areas. It was called the largest chemical weapon attack in the modern age. Over 1,100 people were killed, many of whom were women and children. The notorious Caesar photos, which were smuggled out of the country by an Assad defector, revealed the regime's systematic torture methods. Over 6,700 detainees were documented as tortured to death in regime prisons. When Assad's war on his people entered its 10th year, over 500,000 had been killed, including some 100,000 by torture, and millions displaced. Most infrastructure had been destroyed, and the war left the economy in shambles. Armed anti-regime groups launched a major offensive against Assad's forces. Within a few days, they captured key cities and regime bases. They had one prize in mind: to oust Assad. Anti-regime groups captured the capital Damascus. Hundreds of thousands of Syrians poured onto the streets in sheer jubilation, as the Assad family's iron rule on Syria had finally ended. Haunted by decades of war and oppression, Syrians are now set to begin a new chapter to rebuild their country and become the architects of their own destiny.